Hi everyone, I just wanted to tell you to bear with me. This is the first time that I'm really using this app, so it's a learning curve for me. Also, sorry about any sounds you might hear. I've got kids, dog, husband, everyone around me while I'm doing this, so there might be some noise. But the first thing that I want to do in this video is really just talk to you about how this assignment is going to work, what it's going to look like for the next several days in our class, and then kind of show you how to access the video. And lastly, I'm going to go through the questions so that you can reference back to this as you go. So the overview of the activity, okay, that's really important that we want you to read every day. But because this book is really challenging, without us actually sitting in a classroom teaching you Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it would be really, really difficult to understand. So we found this cartoon version, which is actually incredibly similar to what the text is. And what we want you to do is you're actually going to be watching a movie over the next 4 days and responding to questions as you go. So there's two ways that we suggest doing this. Ms. Schwab and Ms. Dreyer's suggestion is to have one tab open with the movie and another with the questions so you can answer as you watch. So the way to do that is you kind of, you go and you click on the link and it's going to open a window into the, okay, so then kind of as you're watching, right, you can go back and forth. I find that to be pretty difficult. So what my suggestion would be is to go up to where those little dots are, okay, and I would go to a new window. And so now I have two windows set up on the bottom of my screen, right? I'm going to minimize the screen, okay, and minimize both of my screens and move them so that I can see parts of both, all right? And instead of clicking on the link, I'm actually going to copy it. So Control C, and I'm going to go into my new window and paste it and hit enter. It's going to take me to that movie, okay? For me, I find it easier because then I have a side by side and I don't have to keep going back and forth because I find it really difficult. Okay, so that's really how I would go about it. And remember that when you're answering these questions, it's a really great idea to read through the questions first. If you look at the questions in red, those are the ones where we're asking you to make an inference. And an inference, again, is where you are using your prior knowledge as well as what you can draw from the text. However, it's not going to be explicit, meaning it's not right there. So as you're watching, okay, you can pause and respond if you would like to, or you can just go back and complete it at the very end. That's really your call. But when you go to answer these questions, okay, they need to be in complete sentences. They need to have proper grammar. And they also have to be submitted at the end in order to actually receive credit for that day. So if you scroll down to the very bottom of the assignment, okay, it says here that before you submit, you have to check, did I answer all of the questions? Did I write in complete sentences? Is my grammar correct? And did I submit it? You have to submit the assignment in order to receive the credit for that day as being there in the class. So that's the walkthrough of that. I'm going to enlarge this screen right now so that I can just read the questions to you. But day one questions, you're going to stop the video at 10 minutes and 41 seconds, and that's really, really important. I'm going to highlight it because that's super important. There's going to be another document tomorrow with questions that look very similar to this. So number one's question is, whose funeral is occurring at the start of the movie? Number two, why do you think the movie includes a nanny telling two children the story of Dr. Jekyll? What is the point of adding these characters to the movie since they don't appear in the book? So that's a two-parter, right? So at least, you should have several sentences for that answer. Number three, what is Dr. Jekyll's theory? Number four, what does Dr. Jekyll hope to do? Number five is another inferencing question. Why does he choose to use the name Hyde or Hyde, and it's spelled both ways, so pay attention to that. Okay, and then you're going to stop that movie at 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Number 6 asks you, what similarities does this cartoon movie have with the book? So name at least 2 things that are similar, are alike in the book to the movie. Okay, and then number 7 is, which do you like better so far, the movie or the book? And then explain why. So you have to reference something specific from the movie or book that kind of helps you to determine, well, why is the movie something I like more? Or why was the book something I liked better or is more interesting to me? Okay, so that's what your goal is for day 1. The next video is going to kind of walk you through how you should go about responding to these questions, looking at really drawing conclusions and making inferences by paying attention to details. Make sure you're getting in touch with me if you have questions.